Everyone talks about the players Southampton have sold in recent years and how good a side they could have if they weren't forced to lose their top talents. But what about Sporting Lisbon? The Portuguese club are no strangers to losing their biggest assets, so let's look at how Sporting Lisbon could line up right now if they hadn't sold their best players. In goal it's Rui Patricio. Sporting Lisbon's current stopper, Patricio has been the club's #1 for about a decade now and helped Portugal lift the European Championship last summer, making a key contribution in a penalty shootout during their journey to the final. The 29-year-old has been linked with moves to the Premier League in the past, with Arsenal, Liverpool and Everton all registering an interest. At right back it's Cedric Soares. Another member of Portugal's Euro 2016 winning side, Cedric moved to St Mary's in 2015 for £4.7 million and has had a decent couple of seasons for Southampton, not setting the world alight but certainly not making a mockery of the art of defending. If he gets any better, he'll be on his way to Liverpool soon. Or maybe all future deals are off after the Reds had to say sorry about the whole Virgil van Dijk affair. I don't care what anyone says, the Southampton to Liverpool joke will never not be funny. At centre back it's Jose Font. It's a hat-trick, 3 players in a row who won the Euros last summer, and a former Saint. God, this stuff writes itself. A lesser known Lisbonite, is that a thing? Anyway, Font came through the Lisbon youth system but would only play for the club's B team and left in 2004. 13 years on, Font has found himself in England, having played for Crystal Palace, Southampton and now West Ham, as well as being linked with the Premier League's top clubs. Age 33, a late bloomer if ever there was one. He's alongside Eric Dyer. You'd be excused for forgetting that England international Eric Dyer actually began his career in Portugal. Dyer left Lisbon for Spurs in 2014 for just £4 million, and he has since developed into a key player under Mauricio Pochettino, having initially played at right back, then centre back and centre midfield. Left back is Marcos Rojo, and that completes our all Premier League back four. I promise not all of the players play in England. The first player in this team who Sporting sold for a canny wedge, Man U paid £16 million for Rojo in 2014 after the World Cup. If this had been 6 months ago, I'd be telling you about how big a waste of money Rojo was, looking like a man desperate to get sent off rather than keep the ball out of the net. But a strong second half of the season at centre back may have changed people's opinions on Marcos Rojo. We've got a midfield 3 beginning with Adrien Silva. Born in France to a Portuguese father, Silva has represented Portugal from under 16 level all the way through to the senior side and has spent his full professional career with Sporting Lisbon, with 2 brief loan spells at Maccabi Haifa and Academica. The second player in this side who is still playing for the Lions, Silva could have been plying his trade in the Premier League as of last season, with Leicester City making a move for the midfielder. Silva seemed up for it, but Lisbon blocked the move and he remains in the Portuguese capital. Next up it's William Carvalho. He's the final current Sporting player in this side, and like Silva, was born outside of Portugal, but still represents the national side and has spent his full senior career with Lisbon. A fantastic holding midfielder, Carvalho has been linked with a move to the Premier League for years now, and at just 25 years old, don't be surprised if Billy Carvalho joins the long list of top players to leave Sporting Lisbon. Our third centre mid is João Mario. We could have went with the more experienced João Moutinho, who left the club to join rivals Porto in 2010 and was described as a rotten apple by the Sporting president José Eduardo Betancourt, but we don't want any dodgy fruit in our orchard, so we're going with Inter Milan's João Mario, who cost the Italian Giants a whopping €40 million plus €5 million in potential add-ons. Actually, is that even that much money now with the exchange rate? Nice one, Brexit. On the right it's Nani. The winger joined Man U from Sporting Lisbon for €25 million in 2007 after the Red Devils had struck gold with another purchase from the club 4 years earlier. We saw moments of sheer brilliance from Nani at Old Trafford, but his star faded towards the end of his time in the Premier League, which saw him briefly return on loan to Lisbon. He moved to Fenerbahce in 2015 and is now with Valencia. We could also have selected Gelson Martins in this position, who is currently a target for Liverpool. So expect another apology from the Reds anytime soon. Yep, we're running this joke into the ground. Through the middle is Islam Slimani. The Algerian became Leicester City's most expensive player last summer when they paid Sporting £28 million for the striker. Slimani spent 3 full seasons in Portugal, scoring 27 in 33 during his last full campaign. The 28-year-old became famous for his goals against rivals Porto, giving him the nickname Dragon Slayer. True to his name, Slimani found the net again when Leicester took on Porto in this year's Champions League. He hasn't had the best debut year in the Premier League, but he gets in this team ahead of Bas Dost and Ricky van Wolfswinkel. And finally, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. The Real Madrid number 7 has gone on to become one of the greatest of all time at Los Blancos, and while a key part of his development came at Man United under Sir Alex Ferguson, it all began as a 12-year-old with Sporting Lisbon for Ronaldo. He would join United for £12.24 million in 2003 after impressing Fergie in a friendly between the two clubs, with the Man U manager describing Ronaldo as one of the most exciting young players he's ever seen. Just imagine how much of a European force Sporting Lisbon could be if they still had Ronaldo and the rest of these players. So that's Sporting Lisbon's team if they kept their best players. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.